That same week, Bill Gates, who was overseeing this simulation, made a 1.1 million shares of BioNTech vaccine, which later became the Pfizer vaccine.
Hello, you awakening wonders. We're having a quick break, but remember, we stream on Rumble at these times. Get Rumble Premium and you'll be well informed when it comes to Bill Gates, because we can speak about him freely, as we will here. And we'll go beyond his own analysis of himself, where he just says, I'm going to give away money. He keeps telling us how much money he's going to give away. He keeps telling us how fantastic he is. He keeps telling us why we should revere and worship him. And certainly Microsoft, pretty fantastic. And sometimes when I myself recognize my own fallibility and flaws and inability to foreclose on offerings and promises that I sometimes make, and how difficult it is to be a good person, I think, what right do you have to criticize these oligarchs and global players and people that pull the strings? And I suppose my right is this: I'm a human being and I've got a voice, and I've never ever claimed to be something that I am not, nor have I. Of course, I've lied. Of course, human beings lie. But I haven't ever tried to set myself up as a global philanthropist while simultaneously making an extraordinary amount of money. And I think it's important to criticize Bill Gates, because I feel that Bill Gates tells us a great deal about power and the way that power operates. Certainly Bobby Kennedy believes that, and this is a brilliant video that I've not seen before, where Bobby Kennedy describes exactly how Bill Gates participated in the notorious Event 201 and how he profited significantly during the pandemic. In short, Bill Gates' claims that he's helping us often mask a profit motive. Let's have a look at Bobby Kennedy's appraisal of Bill Gates' actions, in addition to this reporting from Tim Schwab and his Substack.
And the last one of these was in 2020 or 2019 October. And it was hosted by Bill Gates, by Fauci, and by April Hayes. And interestingly, by George Gale, who is the head of the Chinese CDC in New York City. And any of you, I'm sure a lot of you have gone and looked at this on YouTube. It's called Event 201. And the fourth simulation that day, the last one, is all about how you use the pandemic as a pretense for clamping down, for abridgments of freedom of speech, and particularly, how do you stop people from talking about a lab leak as the source of these viruses? Now, this is in October 2019. None of us at that time ever heard of COVID. We now know that COVID was almost certainly circulating by mid-September. On September 12th, the Chinese government kicked down the door of the Wuhan lab, brought in General Wei, which is a bioweapons expert from people from Army, to run the lab and removed all the gain of function studies from their public-facing websites and all the genomic sequences from all the viruses. The Chinese government clearly knew that the virus was circulating in September. So a month later, you have this. That same week, Bill Gates, who was overseeing this simulation, made a 1.1 million shares of BioNTech vaccine, which later became the Pfizer vaccine. He then sold that, almost all that stock, 87%, 2 years later, at a $242 million profit. And a week after that, he publicly announced the vaccine didn't work. Basically, he called it come and done scheme. Because he was the guy who was on TV with his minion, Peter Hotez, who took $52 million from Gates for his institution. Gates made his institution. So you had the pair then pumping up the stock for 2 years and then dumping it a week before he goes on TV and says, oh, it didn't work after all.
On the 25th anniversary of the Gates Foundation, Bill Gates has generated a massive PR hit by announcing that he's going to give away his entire wealth over the next 20 years. This $200 billion, he tells us, will be used to fight infectious diseases, poverty, and preventable deaths among women and children.
Good. For the time being, I shall require only women and children.
And Gates' surge in generosity will mean that the Gates Foundation will formally close at the end of 2045. These are big announcements, widely covered and praised by the news media, but they are also complete bullshit. Gates has been boasting about his generosity for years, but notice how his personal wealth has skyrocketed during his tenure as a philanthropist.
You're a renowned philanthropist.
Bill Gates' entire philanthropic career has been organised around ambitious, forward-looking goals and announcements that don't deliver. 2 decades ago, Gates said he knew how to revolutionise African agriculture through philanthropy. Independent research shows that in nations in which Gates works, we're going backwards on many metrics. More than that, farmer organisations across the African continent are calling on the foundation to pay reparations for all the harm it's done. Not only are reparations required for slavery, reparations are required for Bill Gates' near contemporaneous actions in Africa. Isn't it extraordinary that Bill Gates is widely known as a philanthropist, but during the period of his philanthropy, his personal wealth has increased? And if not his personal wealth, his accumulative wealth. Across all of the foundation's work, from public education to public health, we see the same trend. Bill Gates makes grand announcements accompanied by huge financial donations. Journalists, as the current news cycle illustrates well, go into stenography mode, exalting Gates as the unimpeachable humanitarian. And when Gates' charitable crusades fail and cause all kinds of collateral damage and opportunity costs, journalists tend not to notice. Gates deserves a special level of scrutiny around his promise to empty the vault to give away all of his enormous wealth. Gates said he's determined not to die a rich man. Bill Gates, when he dies, will be extraordinarily wealthy. He may find ways to move huge sums of money to his children or maybe future spouse, but that's not really giving money away. That's simply enriching and expanding his legacy and creating a new era of aristocrats.
This morning you announced that you'll be giving away nearly all of your money faster than expected. Wow.
Gates' eldest daughter reportedly lives in a $50 million penthouse in New York. His son, meanwhile, is apparently a much sought-after political donor. His youngest daughter appears to be the most public-facing of the three, using her wealth and power exactly as her parents do, as a kind of philanthropist come investor come political advocate. Arguably, Gates' children are already worthy of the title of aristocrats. Certainly, we should expect Gates to transfer massive sums to them, probably in ways that we cannot fully track or trace over the decades ahead. Just because Gates says the foundation will close down in 2045, or that he will have given away 99% of his wealth by that time, it doesn't mean it'll actually happen. To be sure, billionaires have a tendency to change their minds. Warren Buffett waited until the ripe old age of 94 to suddenly announce radical changes to his wealth planning. Instead of giving his currently estimated $160 billion fortune to the Gates Foundation, as he always indicated he would do, he suddenly decided to give his wealth to his children, specifically to a vague philanthropic project run by his children. Is it really difficult to imagine Gates doing the same or similar, deciding that the Gates Foundation is just too important to shutter, that his children are uniquely qualified to run it, or that they deserve to have their own billionaire philanthropies? For 25 years, Gates has fooled us into seeing him as a good billionaire, giving away all of his money in a highly effective manner to save lives and drive social progress. It's been an enormously successful PR campaign, but it's now time that we understand that that's all it is. Gates is not a philanthropist. He's an oligarch and one of the most powerful, least scrutinised, least regulated political actors in the world. What Gates is doing through philanthropy is not giving away money, but buying influence, donating money to political advocacy groups, researchers, think tanks, and journalists who can amplify his narrow, wrong-headed, and often self-serving solutions to big social problems. We should not wait 20 years for Gates to voluntarily maybe shut the Gates Foundation. We should be finding ways in the here and now to regulate or dismantle this harmful, undemocratic project. I think between the Bobby Kennedy video and the Tim Schwab report in there, it's pretty clear that the picture that the legacy media give us of Bill Gates is a disingenuous and misleading one, and one that we should relieve ourselves of immediately. Remember, we will be back on Rumble at these times next week. We're taking a short break. Until then, if you can, stay free. Do you know that 50% of all dogs over 10 years old will die of cancer? The other 40-50% suffer miserably from skin issues or joint problems. This is widely attributed to your dog's diet. These numbers are what inspired naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black to create Rough Greens. Give your dog Rough Greens. Then you don't have to change their diet. You supplement their diet. So here's the good news. With thousands of testimonials and 5-star reviews, they've helped millions of pups like mine stay active and be healthy. Your pup could be next. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens. Fetch a free jump start trial bag for your dog today. Just cover shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. Just use the promo code Russell. 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 Like that, how a dog says it. That's RUFF greens.com. Promo code Russell. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens. Just insert that directly into your dog's. No, put it in the food. It's obvious. I'm just mucking it. Grow up. Rough Greens. Ruff, ruff. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.